What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel. My name is Matt, and today we're reviewing Coming to America, the sequel to Coming to America, a movie that I believe came out in 1985. I could be wrong. You have all the originals for the most part coming back. You have Eddie Murphy, Arsenio Hall, you have James Earl Jones, you have pretty much everybody coming back to do the sequel, and then you have a couple of additions like Leslie Jones, Tracy Morgan, Wesley Snipes. Um, but the movie is about Prince Hakeem. He's got to go back to America because he discovers that he has a son that's in America. He needs to bring him back because he's the next heir on the throne. And going into the movie, I was a little nervous, if I'm going to be completely honest, because you get a lot of movies like Dumb and Dumber 2 and Zoolander 2, where you had the originals and they were great. They were just really good comedies, and then you get the sequel and it's just not good, right? Dumb and Dumber 2 wasn't the worst, but it's not that good of a movie. And you know, Zoolander 2 is god awful. So going in, I was nervous because of that. I was kind of worried that it was going to go to you know, this movie was just made too late and it's just not good. Um, so I was nervous, although I do like the director. He directed Dolomite's My Name, Craig Brewer, I believe is his name. Did that with Eddie Murphy. And, that kind of made me go, okay, he's directing Coming to America. Okay, cool. And also Coming to America, the original, is a movie that means a lot to me. It's one of my favorite comedies, if not my favorite comedy of all time. So this was something I went into with a high standard of you got to be really good, you got to be really funny because the original is so good. I don't want to have the original with how good it is, and watch that and then watch a sequel where it's a complete dumpster fire. I don't want that at all. I want a good movie. Just give me a good movie. I would prefer a really good movie. And I will say the movie's okay. It's fine. Eddie Murphy's great in the movie. So is Arsenio Hall. I thought they were both really good in the movie. James Earl Jones is also really funny in this movie too. There's a specific scene, if you watch the movie, you'll know what I'm understanding. It has him, Arsenio Hall, and Eddie Murphy involved in the scene, and it made me laugh. I thought he was really good in the movie. Leslie Jones, not the biggest fan of her. I'm pretty mixed on her when it comes to her SNL stuff, and really haven't seen a whole lot of movies that I can think of. I'm sure I have with her in it, but the one that really sticks out to me is Ghostbusters, and not good. She's not good in it. I don't think anyway. Um, but I thought she was good in this movie. I thought she had some really funny moments in the movie. I felt like she was used right in this movie. Wesley Snipes is, really good in the movie too. I really hope that with Craig Brewer, assuming that's the director's name, I hope he works with Wesley Snipes more and more because I feel like he really uses Wesley Snipes well in this movie. Um, if you watch WandaVision, you'll recognize a certain actor in there. I'm not gonna act like I know the character's name on top of my head, but if you like the show or you watch the show, you'll recognize somebody that's from WandaVision. Not like a big thing or anything, but you might be like, hey, it's that guy. Um, but the movie really relies on the classic in the sense of certain things that are thrown into the movie. I don't really want to spoil too much. But obviously we've seen the trailer at the barbershop thing. That's something that they really like try to nail. And I thought the barbershop stuff was really good in this movie, but it felt like they were really trying to be like, hey, you remember the original? Here's that. Hey, you remember that? Here's that. Here's this from the original. Here's this from the original. That's what I felt like they were doing rather than not doing that. And don't get me wrong, there are, you know, pretty lengthy moments where it didn't, but to me, it really did rely on the original. And look, I laughed at the stuff, but um, they really, really pushed it. I don't think too far, but that was something they really pushed, and I wish they would have like maybe not relied on that as much. Maybe be like, oh, hey, you remember that? There you go. Here's a little nugget for you right there. But no, they do. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world, but hey, it is what it is. Comedy for the most part, I think hits. I don't really think the story itself is all that intriguing. It doesn't really interest me as much. If I watch this movie again, it's definitely going to be for the nostalgia moments. I feel like most people are going to do that. But the story is it's not that great. It really isn't. It's similar to the original some ways, but it's just not. I mean, it's fine. It's not terrible, but it's, to me anyway, it's definitely the weakest part of the story. Um, I just like going in, walking out of the movie, walking out, like walking out of the theater. After I finished the movie, I was thinking in my head, I was like, okay, there's some real funny moments. They have bloopers at the end, like a lot of these movies do, and those are fun to watch. But you know, after the movie ended, I was kind of sitting there, I was thinking about what I thought about the movie and whatnot, and what really kept hitting me, like in the brain, in the head, whatever you want to say, um, what really kept striking me was how this movie really didn't need to be made. There was no point for the movie to be made. Um, I felt like the first one ended perfectly fine. You know, I didn't need to see a sequel with his son and daughters and whatnot. I didn't necessarily need to see that. Um, but I mean, yeah, I mean it's not bad, but I wasn't like a, oh my god, I'm so glad they made this movie. I gotta watch it again and again and again. It was a, okay, I got to continue the story, cool, but I don't need this. I mean, I'm probably not gonna watch it again. I'll watch the original. And I mean, if it comes out on a Blu-ray and 4K, I'll probably buy it. But I mean, I don't really need it. Um, I'm looking forward to like Beverly Hills Cop and whatnot. Like, is coming out. But I mean, with this movie, I wish it was R. That was something I wanted to. I kind of was like a little nervous because it was like you're going from R to PG-13, and it- you know, thankfully this movie didn't like need to be rated R. I wasn't sitting down watching a movie being like, oh my gosh, this has to be rated R. What are they doing? Um, so I mean, I mean that's a good thing, but I didn't think it would need to be rated R. I thought PG-13 was perfectly fine. I mean, if they wanted to, maybe they would have pushed it a little more. Maybe some F bombs would have been thrown in. You probably would have had some nudity in the movie, but I mean, it wasn't really something that affected the story. I don't think it really affected it in a negative way or a positive way. And, it's something I wanted, but they didn't do it. So whatever. That was a fear I had too. Thank God it didn't affect the movie too much. But at the end of the day, it's a fine movie. It's not something I'm going to recommend you watch. I think if you like the original or love the original, I would say watch it once and then kind of decide, do you need to see it again? Was it worth it? Yada yada yada. So I'll let I mean I would suggest it to the people who have seen the original because I don't think it's a bad movie. I know some people are kind of drilling on it, but no, I thought it was a fine movie. Nothing special, just fine. It is what it is. So at the end of the day, I'm gonna go ahead and give Coming to America. I'm gonna give it a 2.75 out of 5 stars. Not a bad movie. It's a fine movie. It's a watch once if you're a fan of the movie. If you're not a fan, you can live without it. I'm not in any rush to see it again. I don't think I'm gonna watch it again. And that's not a bad thing. I just have a lot to watch, and this isn't one of those movies where I'm like, I gotta watch it again. It's not like Star Wars or Lord of the Rings or Casablanca, The Godfather, bam, so on and so forth. It's not like that. It's a fine movie. It is what it is. Um, it's average at best. Good moments in the movie. Eddie Murphy's great, along with most of the cast. I thought, for the most part, people were at least good in the movie, so that's a good thing. So there we go. So thank you for tuning into this review. If you saw the movie, comment below. Let me know what you thought about this movie. Do you think this movie was worth being made, or do you think they should have just left it and just did something different? Let me know down below. Also, we do have later today a WandaVision spoiler discussion. We're going to be talking about the series. We're going to talk about our thoughts, and we're going to go all in on the spoilers. Is the show good or does it suck? You'll have to find out later today. We're going to go live about 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're seeing this on like Saturday or whatever, it's up already. So it'll be in the end cards. I'll change them at some point. Um, But tomorrow we have After Dark. If you're into just a show where people hang out and discuss movies and whatnot, make sure to check out After Dark. It's a good show. It's a fun show. I have no idea what we're talking about this week. We might talk a little WandaVision too. I don't know. Sundays is going to be our Supernova show. That premieres at noon. And that is our nerdy show. We pretty much cover anything from like wrestling to video games, comic books, all kinds of stuff. So if you're into that, check it out. Sundays at noon. And then Mondays, I believe at 7 o'clock, is Schmo Talks. If you're into the Schmodown, we have a Schmodown related show where Aaron, our host, he interviews different people, whether they're involved in the Schmodown itself or just fans in general, and finding out why they like the Schmodown, what got them into it, all that good stuff. So if you're into the Schmodown, we got a show every Monday. Check it out. Thank you for coming on to this review. Thank you for checking it out. I've been Matt, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.